Assalamu alaikum, dearest brother and sisters. Have you ever wondered if there are prophets who are still alive, walking among us even now? Imagine, 4 remarkable figures, each with unique abilities and divine knowledge, living quietly by Allah's will, their purpose awaiting a destined time. These aren't just ancient tales. These are stories that could still be unfolding in our world today. Who are these 4 prophets? What secrets do they hold? And why are they still here, even centuries later? Join us as we reveal the mysteries and deeper meanings behind these chosen souls who continue to inspire, guide, and awaken faith in ways beyond our imagination. In the vast history of humanity, the guidance of prophets has been a guiding light, illuminating the way for those seeking truth and righteousness. Allah, in His infinite wisdom and mercy, chose these figures from among humankind, elevating them to deliver His message to different nations across centuries. Every prophet was sent to guide, to warn, and to inspire, reminding people of their purpose and the path that leads back to Allah. Their missions were diverse, spanning across continents and cultures, each uniquely suited to address the needs and challenges of their respective communities. The Quran and Hadith tell us that the number of prophets is beyond what we might imagine. According to a well-known narration from Abu Dhar, he asked the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, about the total number of prophets. The Prophet replied that there were around 124,000 prophets in total. Abu Dhar further inquired about the number of messengers specifically, those entrusted with new laws or scriptures, and the answer was in the hundreds, around 313 to 315. It's a humbling thought. Thousands of prophets walked the earth before us, each carrying the divine message to worship Allah alone. Yet the names of only a small portion have been preserved. Out of this vast number, only 25 names are mentioned in the Quran and Hadith as essential for Muslims to know. This select group includes those prophets whose stories carry universal lessons and messages that transcend time. Each prophet and messenger had a distinct role, yet they shared a unified mission: to bring people closer to Allah and to call them away from false beliefs, oppression, and misguided ways of life. They showed people the beauty of truth, the importance of justice, and the value of compassion. They were individuals chosen not for their wealth, social status, or worldly power, but for their hearts and their ability to bear the immense weight of revelation. Allah bestowed upon each of them special attributes and miracles that served to demonstrate their authenticity and to draw people to the message of Islam. From Prophet Adam, the first human and prophet, to the seal of the prophets, Muhammad, peace be upon him, each was a vital link in the chain of divine guidance. Yet among all these honored figures, there are a few whose lives, even after their mission on earth seemed complete, did not conclude with death as it normally does. These few prophets, according to some Islamic traditions, have been granted life beyond what is known as natural limits. They exist in a state that is beyond ordinary human understanding, perhaps awaiting a final task, or continuing a divine mission that is not yet finished. These prophets, Khidr, Elias, Issa, and Idris, are believed by some to be still living, granted an extension of life by Allah's will and decree. What does it mean for them to be alive, and what purpose might it serve? The stories of these prophets are mysterious, filled with symbolic meanings, hidden wisdom, and unanswered questions that continue to capture the minds and hearts of believers. Khidr, for example, is often seen as a figure beyond time and space, an eternal guide who teaches that the true meaning of life's events often lies beyond what we can see or understand. His journey with Prophet Musa teaches us that Allah's wisdom encompasses all, even if it's hidden from human perception. Elias, on the other hand, was a fierce preacher of monotheism, standing firm against idol worship and the tyrants who opposed him. His story reminds us of the courage it takes to call people to the truth, especially in the face of hostility and oppression. Prophet Issa, or Jesus, occupies a special place not only in Islamic history, but in the eschatology of Islam as well. Muslims believe that he was neither killed nor crucified, but rather that he was raised to the heavens by Allah, awaiting his return in the end times to complete his mission. His story stands as a testament to Allah's protection and the patience required when dealing with a hostile people. And then there is Idris, a prophet noted for his knowledge and wisdom, credited with being among the first to write and study astronomy. He was granted an ascension to the heavens, showing that even in ancient times, Allah valued knowledge and intellect as a form of worship. These four prophets are woven into the spiritual fabric of Islam, each representing a different facet of faith and divine purpose. They embody the mysteries of Allah's plan, demonstrating that life and death are ultimately in His hands, that the limits of human understanding do not confine Allah's actions, and that there is more to this world than what we observe with our senses. Their stories challenge our perceptions, pushing us to question what we think we know about life, purpose, and divine intervention. These prophets, while unique, continue to serve as a reminder of the connection between the seen and unseen realms and the eternal nature of Allah's guidance. Their presence also brings into focus the notion of waiting for Allah's command, of living a life in dedication to a purpose beyond what ordinary humans might know. They were not called back from the world of the living because their mission was not yet complete. Perhaps they remain to serve in the future, to guide those in distress, or to be present when humanity needs them most. The specifics of their existence remain unknown, yet their stories inspire believers to hold on to faith, patience, and trust in Allah's plan, knowing that even the prophets of old await His divine command. This idea that some of Allah's chosen remain alive among us reminds us of the timelessness of faith. It suggests that guidance is always near, that wisdom is accessible for those who truly seek it, and that Allah's mercy extends beyond our understanding of time and space. For those who seek to emulate the qualities of these prophets, knowledge, courage, patience, and trust in Allah, their lives offer a map for spiritual growth. Among the four prophets who are believed to be alive, each one carries a profound story that is as mysterious as it is enlightening. These are not ordinary lives, but journeys that defy the usual boundaries of time, mortality, and the human experience itself. Prophet Khidr, often known as the mysterious guide, is among the most intriguing of them all. Khidr's name alone has a mystic significance, meaning the green one. The title reflects an essence of life and growth, a symbolism that remains deeply rooted in the stories surrounding him. According to tradition, wherever Khidr steps, greenery springs forth as if even the earth itself responds to his presence with renewed life. But this miracle of turning dry land into lush greenery is only the beginning of the mysteries that surround him. Khidr's first major encounter in the Islamic tradition takes place in the company of Prophet Musa, Moses. This story, narrated in the Quran, describes how Musa sought knowledge that was beyond his understanding, leading him to Khidr. Musa had been informed that there was a servant of Allah who possessed a unique kind of wisdom, a direct knowledge known as ilm iladuni, or divine knowledge. Unlike human knowledge that requires teachers, books, and years of study, ilm iladuni is bestowed directly by Allah without intermediaries. This wisdom allows Khidr to perceive life and its events from a perspective that is hidden from ordinary people, including even a prophet like Musa. Their journey together begins with Musa seeking permission to accompany Khidr, who warns him that his actions may be difficult to comprehend. Despite the warning, Musa insists on learning from him, and they embark on a journey filled with cryptic events that test Musa's patience and understanding. In one instance, Khidr damages a boat belonging to poor fishermen. In another, he takes the life of a young boy. And in the final instance, he repairs a wall without any request for payment in a village where the people had refused them hospitality. Each action leaves Musa puzzled, his heart wrestling with what he perceives as injustice. Only at the end does Khidr reveal the deeper truths behind these actions. The boat belonged to humble fishermen, whom he was protecting from an oppressive king who seized every seaworthy vessel. The boy he took was destined to lead his parents to sin, and Allah planned to replace him with a more righteous child. The wall he repaired hid treasure belonging to orphans who would need it once they reached maturity. These events convey profound lessons about patience, divine wisdom, and the limits of human understanding. Through this journey, Khidr teaches Musa, and by extension, all of humanity, that not everything in life is as it appears. Sometimes, what looks like a setback is actually a blessing in disguise, and what seems harmful is a hidden mercy from Allah. This story encourages believers to cultivate a sense of trust in Allah's plan, even when the reasons are not immediately clear. For Khidr, every action, however mysterious it might seem, is a reflection of Allah's wisdom and compassion, a reminder that Allah's knowledge encompasses all things. This encounter with Khidr not only expands Musa's understanding, but also illustrates the role of Khidr as a guide for those seeking deeper truths. The mysterious nature of Khidr doesn't end there. Many believe that he continues to walk the earth, appearing only to those who need his guidance or who are destined to learn from him. His presence is often fleeting, like a passing shadow, but his wisdom leaves a lasting impact. Some say he appears to those who are lost in faith, offering them a path back to Allah. Others say he is a guide for the spiritually inclined, revealing truths that cannot be spoken, but only experienced. Khidr's role as a teacher and guide continues beyond what we can measure by ordinary means, making him an eternal figure who embodies the idea of knowledge that is timeless, infinite, and connected directly to the divine. Elias, on the other hand, embodies the role of a steadfast preacher, standing firm in his mission to call people to Allah. His life was marked by challenges and confrontations as he tirelessly worked to bring the people of Israel back to the worship of Allah. In a time when idol worship had become widespread, Elias was tasked with an almost impossible mission. The people were devoted to Baal, a false god that had become central to their lives and society. Elias stood against this deep-seated tradition, urging the people to abandon Baal and turn instead to the worship of Allah, who alone deserves their devotion. The path was not easy. The leaders of his time were hostile to his message, and the people, entrenched in their customs, were reluctant to change. Elias's mission was met with scorn and resistance. He was seen as a rebel, someone who disrupted the societal order by calling for the worship of Allah alone. Yet despite the threats to his life and the isolation he faced, Elias continued to preach with conviction and courage. His commitment to monotheism was unwavering, even when it led him to live as a fugitive. He moved from place to place, always on the run, yet always steadfast in his mission. There are accounts of miraculous events that occurred during Elias's life, signs of Allah's support and protection for his prophet. In one of the most well-known incidents, during a time of severe drought, Elias prayed for rain. The heavens opened, and rain poured down, providing relief to a land that had been parched and barren. This miracle was a clear sign to the people that Elias was indeed a messenger of Allah. Yet, even with this proof, many remained defiant, choosing to reject his message rather than embrace the truth he offered. Elias's life became a testament to the challenges of calling people to Allah in a world where false beliefs held sway. Some traditions suggest that Elias remains alive, continuing his mission quietly, guiding souls back to Allah. His presence is often compared to a watchful guardian, a silent force that upholds monotheism in a world that can easily be led astray. Believers imagine him as an unseen figure who appears to those in need of spiritual support, a guide for those who are sincere in their devotion. Like Khidr, he is said to only appear to those chosen by Allah, maintaining an existence that is hidden yet profoundly impactful. His story is a reminder of the courage required to stand for truth, even when the world seems against you. It speaks to the power of patience, resilience, and the importance of remaining true to one's mission, no matter the cost. In the lives of these prophets, we see a powerful representation of trust in Allah, of standing firm in faith, and of continuing to fulfill one's purpose regardless of obstacles. Khidr's wisdom teaches us about the depth of divine knowledge, while Elias's commitment shows us the strength required to stay devoted in the face of adversity. Both stories remind us that faith is not always an easy path, but it is the path that brings us closest to Allah. For believers, these prophets serve as reminders that Allah's guidance is always near, even when it may seem hidden, and that those who seek Allah with sincerity will find guidance in the most unexpected ways. Prophet Issa, known as Jesus in Christianity, holds an extraordinary position in Islamic teachings. He is revered as one of the greatest prophets, a beloved messenger who was entrusted with conveying Allah's guidance to the children of Israel. His life is surrounded by miracles, from his miraculous birth to his ability to heal the sick, raise the dead, and speak as a newborn, defending his mother, Mary. These miraculous signs were given to him as evidence of his prophethood and as a demonstration of Allah's mercy. The story of Issa is unique in many ways, as his life and mission are marked by divine intervention from beginning to end. Issa's story is one of struggle, perseverance, and compassion in the face of relentless opposition from his people. Issa's journey began in a miraculous way, as he was born to Maryam without a father. This miracle astonished the people of her time, who questioned how Maryam, a pious woman known for her chastity, could bear a child. But Issa spoke in her defense as an infant, an incredible sign that silenced the doubters and confirmed his role as a prophet. Even in his infancy, Issa was a figure of wisdom, a child of immense spiritual significance. His ability to speak as a newborn was a clear indication that he was chosen by Allah for a special mission, one that would set him apart from all others. This miraculous beginning was only the first of many signs that would define his life. As Issa grew, his mission became clear: to guide the children of Israel back to the worship of Allah, away from the corruption and disobedience that had taken hold of their society. He preached a message of monotheism, compassion, and moral integrity, reminding the people of the teachings of previous prophets, such as Musa and Dawood. But his message was met with resistance, especially from the religious authorities who saw him as a threat to their power. Issa challenged the religious leaders, exposing their hypocrisy and calling for reform. His teachings resonated with the common people, who saw in him a figure of hope and justice. But the powerful elites saw him as a disruptor, someone who threatened the established order. Throughout his ministry, Issa performed miracles that amazed and inspired those around him. With Allah's permission, he healed the sick, gave sight to the blind, and even raised the dead. These miracles served as signs of his divine mission, proof that he was indeed a messenger from Allah. His followers grew, but so did the opposition against him. The religious authorities plotted against him, seeking ways to discredit him and undermine his influence. They accused him of blasphemy and heresy, spreading false rumors to turn the people against him. But Issa remained steadfast, continuing to preach the message of Allah despite the mounting threats. The climax of Issa's life, according to Islamic belief, came when his enemies sought to kill him. They plotted to crucify him, hoping to end his influence once and for all. But Allah, in his infinite wisdom, saved Issa from this fate. The Quran states that the enemies of Issa did not kill him, nor did they crucify him. Instead, Allah raised him up to the heavens. This divine intervention preserved Issa from death, and he remains alive, awaiting his destined return. Islamic tradition holds that Issa will return in the end times, descending from the heavens to fulfill his final mission. He will defeat the Dajjal, the Antichrist, and restore peace and justice to the world. Issa's return is seen as a symbol of Allah's mercy, a second chance for humanity to recognize the truth and submit to the divine will. Issa's life is a testament to the power of faith, resilience, and divine protection. Despite the challenges he faced, he remained devoted to his mission, embodying the qualities of patience, compassion, and humility. His story serves as an inspiration to believers, a reminder that Allah is always with those who are true to His message. Issa's return is eagerly anticipated by Muslims, who see in him a figure of hope and redemption. His life and legacy continue to inspire, reminding us of the importance of faith, perseverance, and trust in Allah's plan. Then there is Prophet Idris, a figure of remarkable knowledge and intellect whose contributions to humanity are celebrated in Islamic tradition. Idris is often regarded as the first prophet to introduce the written word, mathematics, and astronomy. He was a scholar, a seeker of knowledge, and a teacher whose wisdom extended beyond his time. Idris's life was marked by a thirst for understanding, a desire to explore the mysteries of the universe, and a commitment to spreading knowledge among his people. He was not only a spiritual guide, but also a pioneer in various fields of knowledge, using his insights to benefit his community and advance human understanding. Idris is credited with being the first to study the stars, using astronomy as a tool for understanding Allah's creation. His knowledge of the heavens allowed him to predict seasons, weather patterns, and even agricultural cycles, which was invaluable to his people. He taught them how to read the signs of nature, to understand the cycles of the moon, and to use the stars as a guide for navigation. His contributions were practical and profound, helping his people to live in harmony with the natural world. Idris's knowledge extended to other fields as well, including medicine, mathematics, and philosophy. He was a man of science and faith, embodying the idea that knowledge is a gift from Allah that should be used for the betterment of humanity. Idris's devotion to Allah was as profound as his intellectual pursuits. He was known for his piety, spending long hours in worship and reflection. His connection to Allah was so deep that it is said Allah granted him a unique privilege, an ascension to the heavens. According to Islamic tradition, Idris was taken up to the celestial realms, where he was allowed to witness the wonders of Allah's creation firsthand. This ascension was a reward for his unwavering faith and his dedication to the pursuit of knowledge. It marked him as a figure of special significance, someone who had been chosen by Allah to experience a glimpse of the divine. Idris's ascension is a story filled with mystery and symbolism. It represents the idea that knowledge, when pursued with sincerity and humility, can bring one closer to Allah. His journey to the heavens is seen as a metaphor for the spiritual ascent that comes with true understanding and devotion. Idris's life reminds believers that knowledge and worship are not separate paths, but intertwined pursuits that lead to a deeper connection with the Creator. His story encourages Muslims to seek knowledge, to question, to explore, and to use their intellect in the service of Allah and humanity. In Islamic tradition, Idris is believed to still be alive, continuing his journey of knowledge and devotion. His presence is seen as a symbol of the eternal nature of wisdom, a reminder that the pursuit of knowledge is a lifelong endeavor that does not end with death. His legacy lives on in the hearts of believers, inspiring them to seek understanding, to live with purpose, and to remain steadfast in their devotion to Allah. Idris's life is a beacon of light for those who value knowledge and seek to understand the mysteries of Allah's creation. He stands as a testament to the power of intellect, the beauty of faith, and the limitless potential of the human spirit. Both Issa and Idris embody different aspects of divine guidance. Issa's life is a story of compassion, resilience, and divine protection, while Idris represents the pursuit of knowledge, intellectual curiosity, and spiritual ascent. Together, they offer a complete picture of what it means to live a life in devotion to Allah, balancing faith and reason, compassion and wisdom. Their lives remind us that Allah's guidance comes in many forms, that each prophet brings a unique message, and that every believer has something to learn from their stories. For those who seek spiritual growth, the lives of Issa and Idris are powerful examples of how to live a life dedicated to Allah. They teach us the importance of patience, the value of knowledge, and the strength that comes from unwavering faith. Their stories encourage believers to strive for excellence, to seek knowledge, and to trust in Allah's plan, even when it is beyond human comprehension. They remind us that true success lies in the pursuit of Allah's pleasure, that the path of knowledge and devotion is a journey that leads to the ultimate reward, closeness to Allah. These two prophets, each with his own unique mission, continue to inspire and guide Muslims across the world. Their stories are not just tales of the past, but living examples of what it means to serve Allah with sincerity and purpose. They remind us that Allah's guidance is always near, that wisdom and compassion are gifts to be cherished, and that the path to Allah is open to all who seek it with an open heart. The lives of Issa and Idris are a testament to the eternal nature of Allah's message, a reminder that the journey of faith is a timeless pursuit that transcends the boundaries of life and death. Their stories continue to shine as a source of hope, guidance, and inspiration for all who believe. The lives of Khidr, Elias, Issa, and Idris are not only remarkable, but deeply meaningful, each carrying unique lessons that transcend time. These four prophets embody the timeless values of wisdom, resilience, patience, and unshakable faith, virtues that serve as beacons for those who seek Allah's guidance. Their lives, each steeped in mystery and filled with divine purpose, remind us that Allah's wisdom encompasses far more than what the human mind can comprehend. By studying their stories, we're invited to reflect on our own journeys, understanding that the challenges we face may serve a higher purpose that only Allah knows. The story of Khidr shows us that not all events are as they appear. Sometimes life's hardships and unexpected changes are precisely what we need to grow in faith, even if their purpose isn't clear to us at the moment. He teaches us that trusting in Allah's plan, even when it feels beyond understanding, is essential for true spiritual growth. Through the character of Elias, we see the strength it takes to stand firm in one's beliefs despite opposition and hardship. His journey reminds us that maintaining our principles in a world that often discourages sincerity is a noble path that brings us closer to Allah. Issa's life is a profound reminder of mercy and compassion in the face of adversity. Despite the challenges and the rejection he faced, he remained gentle, hopeful, and resilient. His eventual return signifies hope for all of humanity, a time when justice and peace will prevail. Issa embodies the ideal of patience, an enduring faith that looks beyond immediate suffering to the eternal promise of Allah's mercy. Lastly, Idris inspires us with his dedication to knowledge and spiritual wisdom. His life underscores that the pursuit of understanding is an act of worship, a way to connect with Allah by seeking to understand His creation and divine order. Idris's intellectual curiosity serves as an example for believers to embrace learning and reflection, recognizing knowledge as a sacred gift. Together, these four prophets serve as timeless guides, helping us navigate the complexities of life with faith, courage, and wisdom. They show us that while life may be filled with trials and mysteries, our purpose is clear: to seek Allah, to grow in our understanding, and to remain steadfast in our devotion. Their lives are not merely stories of the past, but living examples of how to walk a path of righteousness, compassion, and wisdom. They remind us that Allah's guidance is ever present, and that those who seek it with sincerity will find it, sometimes in ways that defy understanding. As we reflect on these extraordinary lives, let us take their lessons to heart. Let us strive to embody their patience, their strength, and their dedication. Let us remember that Allah's wisdom is infinite, His plan perfect, even if hidden from our view. By following the examples of Khidr, Elias, Issa, and Idris, we find a roadmap to navigate life's challenges. A reminder that no matter how mysterious life may seem, Allah's guidance is always near. Thank you for joining us in exploring the lives of these remarkable prophets. May their stories inspire us to deepen our faith, to pursue knowledge, and to hold steadfast to our values even when tested. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories that connect us to our faith. May Allah bless you and keep you steadfast on the path of righteousness. Until our next story, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.